How are you guys? I want to need for you some help. I want to teach you a rhythm pattern. So you guys need to put your phones down and help me here. Are you willing to do so? Yeah? You get to clap 3 times first, like, and then you go. Pa, pa, pa. First myself. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. And now the second part of this pattern is pa, pa. Pa, pa. So together it will be something like pa, 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 pa. Pa, pa, pa. Let's keep on pa. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. Good, guys. Good. Thank you very much. You've just learned the clave de salsa. And that is a rhythm pattern. Only when we learn, oh my God, only when we learn the rhythm is when we can ask how fast or slow then we can go. Rhythm is everywhere. Every day we're understanding rhythm. Whether you are in a hurry or you're chilling and the world outside is in chaos, whether you flow with the things you always do, or you're creating new patterns of rhythm. The soundtrack of our lives is built upon rhythm. And if there was somebody that didn't want to listen to the music being played and had to sought for peace in that rhythm was Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychologist and neurologist, and also a Holocaust survivor. And he wrote this quote. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we're challenged to change ourselves. So today I want to share the story of how I, with 31 years old, after living 20 in a context that I cannot change, I had to stop, look around, and learn how to be resilient. And by sharing this story, I will be honoring and sharing the story de mi gente, de mis personas en Venezuela. I come from Venezuela, but I am a global shaper. I'm a passionate arts and leader culture, a communication specialist, and a flamenco dancer. That's why all the rhythm, now it makes a little bit sense for you. I come from Venezuela, I live in Caracas, and even though we're in the worldwide news, I would like to take some time to share with you a little bit of our context. We are living the worst crisis of our modern history. Venezuela's economic crisis has weighed down since 2014, faced hyperinflation, economic insecurity, scarcity of medicine and food. The government has been challenged with protests in which dozens of Venezuelans died and thousands were arrested. The International Monetary Fund said they expect our hyperinflation rate to hit 1,000,000% by the end of the year. Our economic situation is similar to that of Germany in 1923s or Zimbabwe in 2000s. Studies have shown how people is losing about 9 pounds a year. 4.5 million people are eating just once a day, and 3 million people are eating out of garbage. 80% of kids under 5 years old are already suffering from malnutrition, but they cannot be treated because medicine scarcity is peaking 90%. Only in 2017, there were more than 260,000 homicides. We're the most corrupt country in Latin America. We're in the top 5 countries with high impunity rate. We're at the last place in rule of law index out of 102 countries. Going to work is unaffordable, and for you to get an idea, most of the population earn minimum wage. And you'll need like 11 or 10 minimum wages for you to buy just basic basket food. So according to Bloomberg, and I think they're right, Venezuela marks its 4th year as the most miserable economy in the world. That is why we're living the largest mass displacement in Latin America's history. In terms of scale, it can be comparable with Syria's exodus. We used to be one of the wealthiest countries in the world. However, that story I cannot tell today And believe me, it hurts. Venezuela has had it in time and evolution. When the whole world is looking for the fourth industrial revolution, I literally feel like it come from the second industrial revolution, like it come from the past. And here we go. We have two movements. We are resisting the retreat, and the whole world is speeding their advance. So there is, when resilience is taking advantage of the context to grow, to create, and to become a better version of yourself. In order to do not go insane, you just need to surrender, but not surrender as abandoning, but just flowing with that music and giving all that you have to make an impact and putting all your attention in the variables, not in the constants that you cannot change. In a ballerina's vocabulary, it will be something like, you cannot choose the music that is being played, but you can definitely choose the way you're gonna dance it. So I bet the majority of you are asking like, Gaby, how can you be happy in a hostile context like that? Why don't you leave? And believe me, I keep on questioning that all the time, and sometimes I don't have the answer. And maybe I'll try to answer afterwards. But it's obvious that Venezuela is not in an evolution. We're in the middle of a devolution. We're devolving, going backwards. It's the notion of feeling that you're going back to the primate elements of life. Not only because I don't have internet, or I'm unable to have cash whenever I want, or because I'm changing my eating habits. No, but because we're going back to the basic elements of humanity. But connecting with that humanity opens the opportunity to be happier in a human being way. Venezuela takes everything out of you until it leaves you with yourself. I talked about my context, but every country has theirs. Let's look at the world: climate change, lack of transparency in institutions, corruption in governments, water security, Afghanistan, Yemen, Syria, the US, Greece. Every country has their struggle. And they have been rebuilt not because of miracles, but because of their people. And that is why we need resilient leaders, not only in Venezuela, but in the whole world. And that is what I really, really wanted to talk to you today. I read an article of Harvard Business School written by Diane Koo, and she said that all the theories she's read before overlap in 3 ways. So resilient people must possess 3 characteristics. The first one, I think I have a problem with this. I'm sorry. The first one is a staunch acceptance of reality. You may think that resilient people is all optimistic, but the truth is they're real. They work with data, with facts. Only when you own data, you can build solutions that actually answer to a problem. The second is an uncanny ability to improvise, in which I have a master. If you want some tips, then I can give it out for free if you want. But it is to do and deliver with any resources that you have. We cannot wait for the perfect scenario to be settled so you can then think about starting doing some impact. You need to deliver. And the third one, which is the one that hits my heart and clicks with me, my favorite, is a deep belief that life is meaningful. And I think this answers to the question before. In Venezuela, the ones who live in there, we feel we have a purpose to fulfill. Some people may ask themselves like, why is this happening to me? And they go through hardship without carrying on any lesson. But resilient people, they build bridges in the present towards a better future. And that is the only way this present can be manageable. This present can be less overwhelming because we have hope. And when we have hope, we believe, then we create. So the question, how fast can we go, of this summit is a luxury I cannot afford. I've been living 20 years very slow or very fast, depending on the way you see it. And this is not the only question. We also have, will technology flounder or flourish? Which is the role of humans versus technology? And you can keep on going. And the answer, I think, is on putting the focus in the important things, not in the urgent things. In Venezuela, I am a teacher, and I also have a social project where I bring dance and arts to communities to empower kids and adolescents. We teach also soft skills, and we share the opportunities of orange economy and creative economy. My friends, the shapers, they're doing smart city solutions, fintech solutions, automated systems for manufacturing enterprises. They're researching for public policies. They're opening bars to promote local art. They're tracing public spaces to teach citizenship. And believe me, I can go on and on and on. We're bringing the 4.0 mindset to a society that is in 2.0 actions. That is being resilient. So maybe for you, or I can understand people thinking like, Gaby, you're losing your time, you're so slow. I'm in the fastest race of humanity. I've learned with open wounds what is democracy, what is freedom, what is dignity, generosity, compassion. Being resilient in a country that only 4.8% of people has a positive perception about what is happening, meaning is served. And there is where leaders must take responsibility to take these people by the hand and bring them to together build a shared vision of collaboration and change. Because when this happens, when this is over, that this is going to be over, we need to be working. We need to be preparing for what really is important. So, as Viktor Frankl said, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. If any of this helps my global neighbors learn, then it will be worth it. If we want to go fast, let's take the time to see what are we made of. How can we do human-centered design? Technologies, solutions, apps, you name it. In Venezuela, we're right there. But believe me, when this goes, we're gonna go. So you should stay pendiente de nosotros, porque vamos con todo. At the end, what I really wanted to share with you today is the importance of just flowing with the rhythm that sounds around you, with your own truth, with your own fears, but flowing and putting all that is inside of you to build the best choreography ever danced. I am dancing in my country, and I know it has a purpose. At the end, finding the rhythm of humanity is just about being human. So don't feel sorry for us. Just look up for us. Feel proud. We are doing the best we can. And I know the leaders must be resilient. Thank you very much for being here. Muito obrigada.